Destruction of the IG Farben explosives plant is part of the well-mapped Allied plan to blot out Nazi war industry. Lieutenant General Lucian Truscott, commanding the U.S. Third Army, oversees the job. 200 tons of TNT do the trick. Many of the buildings were constructed so that 2 floors were underground, well protected from our bombers. But now the job is completed and almost 80 buildings are leveled. The once powerful Nazi war machinery is slowly crumbling to dust.
Military Tribunal number 6 will come to order. Fritz Termeer.
Termeer.
Christian Schneider.
Schneider.
Otto Ambros.
Ambros.
Max Bruggemann. Ernst Bergen.
Bürgin.
Heinrich Bütefisch.
Bütefisch.
Paul Heffliger. Max Illner.
Ilgener.
Friedrich Jana.
Jene.
Hans Kuhne.
Kühne.
Heinrich Gatineau.
Gatineau.
Erich von der Heide.
Von der Heide.
Hans Kugler.
Kugler.
May this honorable tribunal please all defendants except Max Bruggemann, Karl Worster, and Karl Lautenschläger are present and in the dock.
The tribunal will proceed with the arraignment of one of the defendants who was excused from attendance at the opening session. The defendant, Karl Lautenschläger. How do you plead to the indictment? Guilty or not guilty?
Schuldig.
Well, as it goes without saying, that these men have not been indicted because they are industrialists, or because they exercise great power and control great wealth. These things are not declared as crimes by the law under which this tribunal renders judgment. And this tribunal is not a forum for debate over the relative merits of different economic systems. What these men are charged with
May it please the tribunal. The grave charges in this case have not been laid before the tribunal casually or unreflectingly. The indictment accuses these men of major responsibility for visiting upon mankind the most searing and catastrophic war in modern history. It accuses them of wholesale enslavement, plunder, and murder. These are terrible charges. No man should underwrite them frivolously or vengefully, or without deep and humble awareness of the responsibility which he thereby shoulders. There is no laughter in this case. Neither is there any hate. The first half of this century has been a black era. Most of its years have been years of war, or of open menace, or of painful aftermath. And he who seeks today to witness oppression, violence, or warfare need not choose his direction too carefully nor travel very far. This case, like any criminal proceeding, finds its justification only as part of this process of redemption and reconstruction. We have been told from the mountain to judge not that we be not judged, and we will do well to reflect upon and seek to comprehend this profound prohibition. The crimes with which these men are charged were not committed in rage or under the stress of sudden temptation, They were not the slips or lapses of otherwise well-ordered men. One does not build a stupendous war machine in a fit of passion, nor an Auschwitz factory during a passing spasm of brutality. What these men did was done with the utmost deliberation, and would, I venture to surmise, be repeated if the opportunity should recur. There will be no mistaking the ruthless purposefulness with which the defendants embarked upon their course of conduct. That purpose was to turn the German nation into a military machine and build it into an engine of destruction so terrifyingly formidable that Germany could, by brutal threats and if necessary by war, impose her will and her dominion on Europe, and later on other nations beyond the seas. In this arrogant and supremely criminal adventure, the defendants were eager and leading participants. In conquered Poland, Ambros was shown a town where one of Himmler's largest concentration camps had just been built. The town was Oswiecim, known to the Germans as Auschwitz. Ambros found the site otherwise suitable and was particularly interested in the possibility of using the concentration camp inmates to erect the plant, all of which was reported to the other defendants. They agreed, and construction of the Farben Auschwitz plant was promptly undertaken. What happened at Auschwitz during those years will later be set forth in some detail. Himmler, for a price, furnished the defendants with the miserable inmates of his camp, who slaved and died to build the Buna factory. The technical complexity of the synthetic dye industry, and particularly the inevitable production of numerous byproducts, for which some practical use was always being sought,